Hi gang, Mr. Ed here for another episode of Mr. Ed Makes, and in this episode I wanted to show you guys this fairy house wall art nightlight that I made using a fairy house technique that I've applied to other things like vases and pieces of wood. Well, in this one I used a picture frame, and you can see a cord hanging off there. It actually has a light in the back of it, and I used the pane of glass itself and the mat that came with the frame as a base, and then I just built the fairy house on that base. And the door opens, you can look inside and see that the glass pane is see-through, so that the light that's attached to the back can shine through into the house, and it just glows kind of like a lantern. It's a night light, LED color changing night light in there. And here it is, almost finished. You can see in the top corner there it's kind of vacant. I have this slate, rose slate kind of color in the background, and it was just supposed to be like the fill-in colors, and I was going to put some sticks and stuff, and when I tried it out, the sticks it didn't work, and I was afraid that they would get broken, or they just looked odd, and it seemed like they were barren. They were just sticks, they didn't have leaves or anything on them, and I just didn't like it overall. So I decided I would just fill that in with some floral moss that I got this at the local dollar store. It's colored green, bright green, so it adds a lot of color to this. And it fills in that corner. It kind of looks overgrown, like this fairy house is kind of hidden in the woods somewhere. So I just use hot glue and I press that down and get it mixed in really well, and try to make sure the glue doesn't show through. But at the same time, all of those little pieces of moss are attached in some way. And they'll, of course, be pieces that kind of come off a little bit because they're just woven in there. But overall, I think if I was really careful here, and over time, it's still going to retain enough of that, so it's not going to thin out and look bare and kind of cruddy. That's my only concern with using moss like that. And you can see some simple materials there. Just paper, glue, hot glue, poster paint, a couple brushes, some water, and you can really elevate it if you just are inspired and have the imagination. And I hope this has inspired you, and you can see how it looks with the different lighting. Now here's one that I made that's around a vase, and you can put a dry arrangement in there. In this one I put a set of battery operated LED lights inside there. And when you cut out the lights, you can see it's just a really awesome effect. It doesn't show up very good on the camera, of course, because I don't have the best equipment. But in real life, I have to tell you, it's absolutely stunning. And you can see the splash of light that it puts on, if you have it like on a nightstand, the splash of light would be really brilliant there. And I have a couple other examples here. I built one on a piece of wood, and it has a staircase made of pine cone petals and a roof made of pine cone petals, and it has a chimney and a fireplace kind of built in there. It has a light that's pretty brilliant in there. Really love this piece, that piece there. Then I made one that was really small on a piece of cedar bark. Just a simple kind of dilapidated house, shingled there with pine cone petals like the wood. I cut the little pieces of wood and made squares, and it lights up, of course, too. I can't get away from the lights. So I hope these have inspired you to just take some basic materials and see what you can do, and look around. If you don't have an idea, just look around and find some ideas and go for it. You're sure to have some fun. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing. Helps me out a lot. And check out the other videos that I have. And until next time, you guys, take care.